Finnish government harboring Simon Ekpa. Arrest him now, he is a terrorist. OHANEZE to the federal government of Nigeria. Now, the Apex Igbo Social Cultural Organization, OHANEZE NDIGBO, has asked the federal government to expedite action in its plan to arrest FlNLAND-based Simon Ekpa. Now, it was reported that with the 2023 elections less than 10 days away, tension is high in the southeast, owing to Ekpa's statement that no election would take place in the zone. Now, concerned by Ekpa's latest threat, the federal government of Nigeria was reported to have met with the ambassador of Finland to Nigeria, Lina Penvanainen, as he seeks ways to stop further carnage in the southeast region. At a meeting with the Finnish ambassador to Nigeria, Lina, Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister, Mr. Geoffrey Nyama, who was represented by the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Zubairu Dada, was reported to have expressed displeasure over the orders given by Simon Ekpa to his teaming followers, who they accused that consequently, having taken the orders of Ekpa, embarked on killings, maiming, burning and other destructive activities. That's what the Foreign Affairs Minister was saying through his representatives. All right. Now, the Nigerian government said Ekpa's action was first becoming a threat to the forthcoming 2023 election, and that the FG would not take it lightly with him and the Finland governments if something drastic was not done. The Nigerian military had also earlier vowed that it would not allow anyone to truncate the 2023 polls. Now, while hailing the latest move by the Nigerian government, the OHANEZE Secretary General Mazi Okechukwu Isugojoro said urgent action must be taken to stop Ekpa from carrying out his threats. He said in a statement made available to reporters, wherein he said that, I quote, "One Simon Ifeanyi Njoku Ekpa has by his utterances and actions ascended the height of a global terrorist and sponsor of terrorism in Nigeria, and particularly in the southeast. Simon Ekpa is liable for the violence, killing of Igbos and Nigerians in the eastern part of the country and should be arraigned by the Finnish government and the Nigerian government without further delay before he escapes from Finland." End of quote. Isugojoro, while declaring that Ekpa's case had gone beyond dialogue, noted that NDIGBO have assembled all documents to prove that Simon Ekpa is sponsoring the killing of the Igbo and other Nigerians, especially the security agents, burning of public properties, INEC and court biddings, as well as disruption of economic and social activities in the southeast for the last 6 months. He says that NDIGBO would collaborate with other Nigerians to apprehend and hand over to security agencies those enforcing the Ekpa's sit at home from the 23rd to 28th of February 2023 in an attempt to disrupt the 2023 presidential elections, which is to hold on February 25th. He said, I quote again, "Elections must be held in the southeast as Simon Ekpa is working with Igbo adversaries to suppress Igbo votes. These must be resisted. Local vigilantes and community-based security outfits should join hands in the efforts to stamp out terrorism and banditry in the southeast." End of quote. Now, the OHANEZE scribe urged the federal government to mount fierce pressure and the Finnish government to surrender Simon Ekpa to face prosecution in Nigeria. In his words, I quote again, "Finnish authorities should stop from shielding a global terrorist who is responsible for the killing of over 20,000 Nigerians in the southeast, and our commitment to ensure that Ekpa is arrested. The $50,000 bounty on him has been increased to $100,000 for anyone in Finland and Europe who has useful information on his new location." Also, we are saying this now. The federal government said they're working to make sure that they arrest the Simon Ekpa, who they said is an autopilot, and his order has been making the southeast ungovernable and very turbulent, talking about what his followers are doing in the southeast region. Now, in view of the 2023 election that is beckoning now, remaining just 10 days or thereabout. So the quest to arrest Ekpa is increased, because Simon Ekpa has said, look, from a statement that there should be no election in the Southeast zone, owing to the marginalization the zone is suffering, and also the continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who were, illegally abducted, of course, from Kenya, tortured, and extraordinary rendition to Nigeria has been illegally incarcerated or detained, even after the Court of Competent Jurisdiction has made a statement on that. And the United Nations has also said, waded into it, okay, by way of telling both governments of Nigeria and Kenya that what they did amounts to illegality. Now, in view of this, Ekpa have said, look, there's no gain to do the election. There's no gain in it. They said it should boycott it. And so since then, political actors in the zone have been moving from pillar to post to condemn Simon Ekpa and call on the Finnish government to apprehend him. But since the Finnish government is following the laid down rules for extradition or arrest of a foreigner, all right, so the government feel that they are delaying, and so they are indicting the Finnish government. Talk about the federal government and the OHANEZE. They are indicting the Finnish government that, look, you are harboring a terrorist, instigating that Simon Ekpa is, or insinuating, better still, that Simon Ekpa is a terrorist. Of course, the world is not seeing it from that light. The Finnish government is not seeing it from that light. That Simon Ekpa is a threat, or he's a terrorist. So it's not within the ambit of Nigeria or the OHANEZE to declare that this person is a global terror or a security threat to the world. Okay? So as it stands now, they said they have increased the bounty from $50,000 to $100,000 for anyone who has useful information on how to apprehend Simon Ekpa. But in essence, what Ekpa is doing is not out of place. You can condemn him. You can say, he is against the Nigeria election, but it's outburst of age-long marginalization. And the people, and we have weighed every option and understand that, look, election is not the way out for the people of the Biafrans. We have been saying it, we have been consistent on that. That staying with these Fulanis, oligarchs, these invaders, staying with this contraption, okay, or staying in the contraption will not in any way alleviate the sufferings of the teeming Biafrans. Because we have said it, it's like taking a new wine in an old jar, or vice versa. Yes, and none shall work. That is it. So it must be a new wine in a new bottle, or a new one in a new jar, before we can make it right or get it right. So that is it. That's the standpoint of Mr. Ekpa. And people have misconstrued it to be violence and terrorism, which is by no means violent or a terrorism.